Shivoham. Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham. Shivoham, Shivoham.
Shuklambaradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayudha-mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhye.
Welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam for another divine offering at the Yagna. Let us begin with reverential pranams at the feet of the divine element of wind and its very essence, the energy of Hanuman. With every breath, beginning from now, for the next 25 seconds or so, we'll be very mindful, receive each inhalation mindfully, reverentially. And every exhalation, we help the wind to carry out all the toxins out of our body. This is the core of the Yagna practice, practicing the Kriya. Let us begin with 3 Oms. Each Om, you allow the air to escape along with the sound of O. So it sounds more like a Ho, and you lean forward, hands on the floor, hands on your thighs, lean forward, empty the lungs, and then breathe in and come up. Now somebody asked me a question, what happens is when they bend forward either for the Omkara Kriya or the Kaka Shuddhi Kriya, saliva collects, and it's almost as if saliva is going to drop out, and then you want to hold the saliva back, and it could be choking. And that's a very valid point. I've been through that as well. So a very simple thing you got to remember, therefore, is just swallow the saliva even before you begin. So if I'm going to begin the Om, I mindfully first swallow, then I inhale, and then I go into exhale. So when you hear me say inhale, quickly swallow the saliva and then begin to inhale. So you won't have saliva accumulating in your mouth as you lean forward with your mouth open, especially for the first 2 kriyas. All right. Having said that, welcome. And let's begin the Omkara Kriya. Swallow in, inhale, and let's go. Breathe in and out. After the first Om, shift your awareness to your stomach. Keep your stomach pulled in slightly. A mild Lagu Uddiyana Bandha in place. So it begins to activate the Agni Tattva, the fire element in your stomach. That will help the prana stay up in the chest. Let's begin the next Om. So once again, swallow the saliva, inhale. And let's go. Inhale, come up. Now that the Lagu Uddiyana is in place, this will stay in place throughout the practice. Begin to engage the Ujjayi breath. Partially closing the glottis, listen to the sound of the breath as it travels through the throat. In other words, you make room to receive the wind reverentially, mindfully into your body. The third Om. Inhale when you're ready. Let's go. Inhale, come up. Breathe in and out mindfully. Neck slightly bent down, shoulders relaxed. Begin to expand the chest with every inhalation. Contract the lungs with every exhalation. Kaka Shuddhi Kriya. Mouth spouted like a beak of a crow. A powerful exhalation, and you're going to continue that till you can exhale no more. Then you're going to breathe in and come up. Once again, when you're ready, swallow your saliva. Inhale. Let's go. Inhale, come up. Breathe in and out. Two more times. Inhale. Let's go. Inhale, come up. Uddiyana Bandha in place. Chest breathing. Expand the chest. Contract the chest. Every inhalations and exhalation. The third round. Inhale when you're ready. Let's go. Inhale, come up. Breathe in and out. Slowly begin to focus on your exhalation. Observe the quality of your exhalation. Observe the volume of air that leaves your body. All right. Third Kriya, Agnisara Kriya. You're going to breathe out, pull your stomach in, hold the breath out, flap the stomach in and out, and then inhale. This activates the fire element, which will be burning brightly, so it keeps the prana in this region of the chest. And therefore this Kriya is indirectly helps us with all the other Kriyas. When you're ready, we'll do this 3 times. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale through the mouth or through the nostrils. Hold the breath out and begin. Inhale. When you're done, continue a few breaths of inhalations and exhalations mindfully. Treat this like meditation, like worship. Focus on every inhalation. When you're ready, let's do the second round. Inhale. Exhale either through your nostril or through your mouth. Hold the breath out. Once you're done exhaling, pull the stomach in and flap. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale long and clear. You can use a mantra just for exhalation. For example, I'll give you an example. When you inhale, you receive, and as you exhale, mentally, not physically, mentally say Jai Siya Ram. And allow that long exhalation to go with the mantra. Don't speak it out though. So you inhale. Jai Siya Ram. Or Jai Sai Ram. Long. Automatically your exhalation will be long and your mind will be peaceful and calm as you think of this holy mantra. Third round of Agni Sara. Let's begin. Inhale and exhale. Let's go. Inhale. Breathe out long. Jai Siya Ram. Just mentally chant it. Inhale. Again, long exhalations. Jai Sai Ram. A couple of rounds like so. Keep doing. Listen to your exhalation. Mentally chant Jai Siya Ram, Jai Sai Ram. Lengthen your chant and keep breathing out till your chant finishes. Stomach pulled in. The Agni is alive here. This is the Ram energy that keeps Hanuman here. Wonderful. Excellent. Let's do Markata Kriyas. Markata is monkey, so we're going to keep moving our body, but in coordination with the breath. Controlled movements. Enjoy this. If you want, you can close your eyes, simply listen to my instructions, or get into your own pace, get into some kind of a It is, you can't force this, of course, but gently you will get into a beautiful trance-like state. But at the same time, you've got to keep focusing on your position, body position, and so on. Let's do 5 of these mindfully. Let's begin with the right side. Inhale. Exhale either through the mouth or nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Stomach pulled in throughout. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You have a choice. You can alternate. One round do it with the mouth, one round do it with the nostrils. What do I mean? Exhale. Exhale through the mouth, one full round. The other round, exhale through the nostril. Both have its own benefits. When you breathe in and out through the nostril, you increase the nitric oxide in the body, and that helps in bringing down blood pressure and so on. So that is also very good. If you breathe out through the mouth, then it helps to detoxify the lungs. So that is also good. Keep switching between the two. I leave it to you completely. Let's continue. 4 more to go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stomach pulled in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. Inhale. Exhale. 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 Wonderful. One last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Few rounds of deep breath. Long exhalations along with the mantra Jai Sai Ram, Jai Sita Ram, long Rams at the end. Jai Siya Ram. Don't say it verbally, mentally. It helps you in longer exhalations. Very crucial for detoxifying your body. Jai Sai Ram or Jai Sita Ram, as Sita and Ram, Sai and Ram, Sa and Ra. Sa is the cooling energy, Ra is the hot energy. So it brings a great amount of balance as well in your body when you practice this for longer periods. Excellent. Let us do the Pranam Asana. So however you're sitting or you're sitting on the chair, let's get into position. I've shown you with the bolsters last couple of days. You can use the same or you could do without. If you're finding it difficult where your head doesn't touch the floor and your butt starts coming up, then simply place a block like so. And you can keep your hands on the side or you can keep your hands in. Hands folded into, palms folded into the Brahma Mudra like so. Thumbs first in, fingers over, on either side of your navel. Inhale. As you exhale, push your stomach in. Exhale fully. Lie down. And begin to activate the back of your lungs, the sides of your lungs. At least 5 to 10 rounds of deep breathing. Hunch the back if you're sitting on the chair. Breathe in and out. Use the same long exhalations, Jai Siya Ram exhalations. Breathe in and out. Long exhalations. Gently inhale. Come up slowly. Excellent. Take your seat. Now, if you have been doing regularly this for the last almost 1 month, we are not there yet, we still have a week to go, you will notice that all of these are becoming very easy and very comfortable to you all. It should be by the end of this 1 month, because then we will step it up. We will do eventually in such a way that there is really no gap. We're going to be switching from one Kriya to another, but we'll do that slowly. There's no need to rush into that. I want to make sure your body is receiving this well, you are receiving it well, you're understanding it well. Once the firm, correct foundations are there in place, then you can bring increasing number of Kriyas and move from one to the other at a faster pace. You should also already be finding a lot of comfort, is what I'm trying to say. Excellent. Let us do the Bhastrika. We're going to inhale, raise the hands up, and a sharp exhalation, bring your hands down. Okay, and then we take a couple of deep breaths. You can keep your hands like so or just rest it. And again, we will do this. Ready? And let's go. This time, there is going to be no exhalation through the mouth, only through the nostrils. So this really brings up nitric oxide, which in turn helps in vasodilation and blood thinning and all of that. So it's very good, but not yet. This is the benefit we are going to receive, but not yet. When we learn it properly, we are just preparing ourselves to learn Bhastrika, and this is the right way to teach it. So please be patient. Let's first learn the right way to breathe. Only through the nostrils, okay? The mucous membranes has that secret of releasing nitric oxide. So learn to powerfully breathe out when you exhale. All right, sitting up tall and straight. Let's begin. Inhale, go. Breathe in and out. Stomach will be fully pulled in. Only the chest is active. The lungs are your bellows, not your stomach. Again, inhale, go. Breathe in and out. Inhale, go. Breathe in and out. Inhale, go. Breathe. Inhale, go. Breathe. Two more. Inhale, go. Breathe in and out. One last one. Inhale, go. Excellent. Let us activate the Chandra Nadi. Invoke Mother Sita, the left side of the body. So you close the right side, right nostril, neck slightly bent down, shoulders relaxed. This palm will keep doing the Kamala Kriya. You're going to open as you inhale, close into a fist as you exhale. Keep your thumb against right nostril. And let the consciousness get absorbed in the Ramanam Pranayama, and may that energy of Ram reach out, expand our consciousness and become one. And in that oneness, let us all derive the benefit of the name of Ram and allow it to sink into the consciousness of every soul that needs it. Every soul in every dimension. Let the name of Ram pervade the universe. Let's begin the practice. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. Exhale. 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 Inhale.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम। जय जय राम सीताराम, 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 जय जय राम सीताराम। गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, माधव रमा जय जय केशव रमा, माधव रमा जय जय केशव रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम। गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, माधव रमा जय जय केशव रमा, माधव रमा जय जय केशव रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, दुर्लभ रमा जय जय सुलभ रमा, दुर्लभ रमा जय जय सुलभ रमा, एक तू रमा जय जय अनेक तू रमा, एक तू रमा अनेक तू रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, दुर्लभ रमा जय जय सुलभ रमा, दुर्लभ रमा जय जय सुलभ रमा, एक तू रमा जय जय अनेक तू रमा, एक तू रमा अनेक तू रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, गोविंद रमा जय जय गोपाल रमा, जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम, जय जय राम सीताराम। Namaste. For those of you who have just joined, welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam. for another beautiful session at the Yagna, where we continue to discover and offer all our weaknesses into the fire and draw inspiration and strength from this internal Agni that we have lit, and we continue to keep that Agni alive throughout the Yagna. It's an internal Yagna, a fire that is glowing brightly in our heart as we join Hanuman in search of Mother Sita. From chapter 6 onwards, which we are right now in, and today we will finish it, chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, Valmiki has taken 4 chapters, and in fact he goes into 11 as well, 12, perhaps a little bit. But predominantly 6 to 10, as I was reading it today, I noticed the amount of importance Valmiki has given in these chapters, just dedicating it to the description of what Hanuman saw in Lanka. And the more I read it, the more I meditate upon the meanings of these verses, I begin to understand how intricately, how thick is the dense jungle within us, and how we need to understand how to navigate in this jungle called the Lanka. This is our Lanka, the Chitta, and the Mother Sita is within, waiting to be discovered. And therefore, one has to understand how to navigate in this forest. And therefore, to understand that, we have to understand what are the trees in this forest, what are the energies in this forest, and so on. And therefore, Valmiki has not minced any words. He has made it blatant in some places, as we will see. And unfortunately, at this point, we are only summarizing these verses. But it is important to take each verse and meditate and understand what was the secret that Valmiki has hidden in these verses. These epics, my dear sisters and brothers, have intrigued scholars for thousands of years, not just hundreds, not just few centuries, because there are so many layers of deep truths hidden in them. It is very easy to get caught in the superficial part of the story part of it. And it is good, because that is a recorded historical event, and that is wonderful. But then when one understands the way that those events were orchestrated by the divine intelligence, the cosmic intelligence, the way the events were orchestrated was symbolic of an inner journey of every soul. So we got to take the inner symbolism of that from the writings of Valmiki, from the story written by Valmiki and shared to us by Valmiki. And then we begin to understand, oh my God, there is so much depth in this. If I want to understand what is going on in me, all I need is to understand the Valmiki Ramayana. And with great humility and reverence, we are just beginning the first few steps in this direction through this yagna. This is not the end. I would never say that I have understood the Sundarakand or I have read the Sundarakand. Read maybe, but not understood, because there is so much to understand. So let us continue today. Verses 25 to 44 of chapter 6. He's still not done with naming the Rakshasas, so he's going to name a few more demons for us. So let us see what those demons are. And like I said, it's very easy for us to say, oh God, so many demons, how do we handle it? How do we even know? I think a very simple way to know whether these energies are helping you or working against you is your conscience. Swami, as we call him, Baba, as everybody knows him, Baba was in the veranda and he made it very clear once as he was talking to one boy. Very simple, he said, a simple way to understand the voice of God in you is start with conscience. Your conscience gives you a very clear picture, and you can't say I don't know conscience, I can't hear the voice of conscience. That is another aspect of the mind in its thousandfold aspects in the Sahasrara. There is something called conscience that gets awakened with even the minimal self-introspection, a minimum amount of meditation, a minimum amount of expansion of consciousness and empathy. Conscience becomes active. Conscience means when I engage in a particular act, whether it is a thought, whether it is the word that I speak, whether it is a thought that I entertain, or whether it is an action that I perform. Any of these, right? And anything in between, or all of these. At the end of that thought or word or deed, your conscience, if it pricks you, if there is a slightest of pricking in the conscience, did I say something wrong? Did I say something? Then you have to re-examine that energy that prompted you to go in this direction. That is all it is. And then you will notice, okay, it was not just my imagination. There's nothing really to worry about it. And then you try it again some other time when the context prevails, and see again if the conscience pricks you. So there is an element there. You will understand and know that how to use these energies. So something, a small tip, if you will. All right, so let us see who else did Hanuman see. Yuddhon Matta. Matta is obsessed. There is an obsession. The word is obsession, because the next demon, let me put it out there, the next demon itself is called obsession, Matta. So is obsessive about certain things. We can't be obsessive about everything. Then there is some serious psychic derangement in us. We are not obsessed about anything, but there are certain things we get so obsessive about that we dare not listen to something against that person, and we become very defensive about that idea or the person or whatever it is, or an object that we are so obsessed about. And so we are even ready to go at war because of our obsession. Yuddhonmata. So one thing. Another thing in Yuddhonmata is he's obsessed for battle. He thrives in argument and battling and always feeling that I should be on top and nobody else should be on top. And therefore he starts fighting with anyone who comes in his life, he or she, whatever. So Yuddhonmata, crazy for battle, obsession for battle. Now this may not be there for everyone in all of us in very ample measure, thankfully. But if you have an inclination to argue and prove your point and defeat someone, and you feel defeated if somebody else's point of view is better than yours, rather than accepting it and saying, you know what, I never saw it that way. I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's take that. You do your best to convince. But then in your heart, you'll know that conscience will say, enough, you know what, that idea is much better. Then you take it. But then Yuddhonmata will come and say, no, I don't know, I can't see it. And something happens and you're blinded and you go on arguing your point of view without putting and listening to somebody else. We've all been there, done that. And therefore Yuddhonmata, when I say crazy for battle, because the word Yuddha means battle, so I technically describe, but battle doesn't mean swords and guns and pistols. That is one side, that's an extreme case. But the impulse or instinct to argue your point and to win over an argument in a social gathering or in a conversation, one has to understand that you don't need to get into it. Sometimes you can avoid the war, avoid the battle. For example, if somebody talks to me about my guru and they don't understand, and they'll say, no, we heard this about him, we heard that about him, we don't want to, I said, all right, fine. If that's how you feel, that's fine. Leave it. I can't, beyond a point, go into Yuddhonmata and start, when somebody has already, when you realize somebody has already closed their mind, no point fighting a battle. Then let go. Right? So it is said a wise man knows how to win an argument. And this is not my quote, I picked it up somewhere many years ago. A wise man knows how to win an argument, a genius knows how to avoid one. So Yuddhonmata is a Rakshasa we need to watch out. And Matta itself is obsession. So these are two demonic tendencies in us. If they serve the wrong impulses and wrong instincts and wrong desires, they begin to fuel. You can see how this could lead to your deterioration. Thank you. Deterioration. So how it can lead you down. But otherwise, if it serves the right purpose, it's good to a large extent. But even then, one has to handle these energies carefully. All right. Dvaja Griva. Dvaja is flag, right? But what is a flag essentially? Why do we put a flag of our country a flag of whatever we believe in outside our home or outside our community. In those days, in wars, every chariot would have a flag. In Mahabharata, a whole yuga later, when Arjuna in his chariot, he had Hanuman's flag because that symbolized what Hanuman stands for. So a flag is a symbol, a status symbol, if you will, of who that person is. The king would have his own flag and so on and so forth. So a flag represents the status, the symbol, the thought of that, the energy pattern, and all of that is symbolized in a flag. So flag, Dvajagriva, is that demon who's caught in, who catches you and entraps you with the status symbols. What are our status symbols today? We don't carry a flag around with us, but a car is a status symbol. A home is a status symbol. The furniture inside your home is a status symbol. Where do you go shopping? Oh, I don't know about Walmart. I just go, and you mention some other high-end name because it's a status symbol to shop in certain malls, in certain shops. We build this status symbol, right? The same thing might be available much cheaper somewhere else. But you say, no, I just go and shop. Clothes, status symbols. Everything has become today a status symbol. How do we perform weddings? Status symbol. We go out of our way and spend and completely, I don't know, it's like an over thing, right? We go overboard, as they say, but that's a status symbol. It's a status symbol. Who is driving the status symbol? What is the need for the status symbol? Whom are you trying to prove and what are you trying to prove? Dvajagriva. Dvajagriva is got you in his grip. And therefore, every time you want to wave your flag, I am rich, I am doing this is where I shop, this is the clothes I buy, this is my tailor. You want to put it out there. You want to put it out there. That is right. That is important. Right? That's why you find a very, very well-to-do person will not drive a normal car. You say, no, I don't want that you guys do it. I'll just come in my own car. Because that's his status. That's how it will be. It's not good or bad, it's what it is. And therefore, Dvajagriva, you have to ask yourself, how much of grip has he got over me? Am I dressing just for the occasion and just to fit in? For the occasion, for example, if you're going to work, obviously you can't go in shorts and t-shirts unless you're in California, in the Silicon Valley. And maybe some parts of India that allow that. But otherwise, you have to dress as per occasion, which is normal. But in that dress, if you go overboard in trying to project something there, right? We go into brands and this and that, it becomes a status symbol. That's what it is. Dvajagriva is very important. And it entraps you. And then you get entrapped in that. From one brand to the another, you think you're floating in some sky and everybody is praising you and looking up to you because of that. Maybe, but you are in Lanka then. You'll always be in Lanka, trapped in Lanka. Then comes Nadi. Nadi, it is, I would have put the DHI, I guess, I don't know. Nadi, Nada, Nadam. Nada is sound. Nadi is one who produces sounds. Now, again here, it's an energy. If it serves the wrong thought processes, it fuels wrong thoughts, wrong sounds, and it becomes more and more bigger in your head, right? Thoughts of anger, jealousy, hatred, thoughts of lack. I lack this, I lack that, that kind of thoughts. All those becomes noisier and noisier in your head. In other words, you're not able to hear the Guru's Vani. You're not able to hear the Guru's words. You're not able to hear the words of Valmiki. You're not able to hear the mantra. Everything else gets drowned because one sound becomes a lot bigger than the other. The same thing can happen positively also. If the mantra is loud enough, then all the other sounds become softer. So this Nadi depends on which thought is he serving, whom is he serving. At this point in the story, all these are serving Ravana. Ravana is a chief demon, right? We'll come to his palace and you'll be aghast to see how Valmiki describes. Shocked actually to see how Valmiki describes the palace and his interior rooms. We'll come to that in a couple of chapters. But all of these demons are now, they're called demons and Rakshasas, and we have a negative inclination as we are reading this because they're all serving the wrong master, the wrong impulse, the wrong thought, the wrong desire. So if Nadi is directed in the right direction, it can be a very powerful energy, right? Rakshasa means a powerful energy. It's directed negatively, and therefore it becomes a powerful negative energy. That's all it is. If you directed the same thing, those Rakshasas also are devotees of Shiva, so they know that powerful energy can be diverted towards Shiva. That's the meaning, right? So it is very much possible to make all of these our strong points, right? And make Bibhishana the ruler of Lanka. Okay. Then comes Indra Jikhva. Jikhva we have come across now, Vidyut Jikhva and all of that. So Jikhva is tongue. Indra is the god of lightning. He has a lightning thunderbolt in his hand and he strikes people with that. So here again, one can understand this as the power of the tongue. You say something and that will manifest. When Indra gives a command, that command will be obeyed by all the elements. Why? Because he is the king of gods. So that his tongue had that much power. So if he tells fire, do this, the fire will do that. That is the idea. So in us, there is Indra Jikhva. In other words, we have an energy that when you say something, that's whatever you say, whatever you think. Jikhva is the tongue, as the tongue manifests sound, right? And that sound has many layers. So in the innermost layer, it manifests as an impulse, thought. And when we study sound in Kaivalya Marga class, we'll understand this more better. And then it becomes a thought, it becomes a mumble, and then it becomes a word. And so there are 4 or 5 stages for the thought, sound to manifest. But it manifests through the tongue. So the tongue has the ability to give energy to that sound, to give meaning to that sound, to give power to that sound. That is where mantra comes from. So this is a very powerful energy. It's neither good or bad. It's extremely powerful energy. It depends on how we use it. Because when we have the power to say something, and that will happen. That is why in Sanatana Dharma especially, they're very, very careful. The elders keep telling you, and we have learned this in our childhood, and it's been passed down from generations to generations. Watch what you speak. Be very careful what you speak. When we were in Baba's presence, we would be so mindful of how to put across something to him, because he will see in between these and he will cut us sharply if we say something which he won't like. He says, this is not good for you. Don't speak like this. How did that word even come in your mouth? Like this. That's how sensitive he was to what people are saying, how they are saying it. So Indra Jikhva is like that. That's why we would be very terrified to talk to him. He would speak to us, we'll listen, and we'll gently say something very carefully. The tone of the voice, the volume of the voice, the emphasis on the words, everything he would instinctively, intuitively, he knows, right? He's the master of all these energies, so he could catch right away and make you mindful. So Indra Jikhva is very important energy that we need to watch for. You can hurt somebody, you can bless somebody, you can create a very positive series of actions, or you could create a downward spiraling energy simply with Indra Jikhva, with your tongue. And it is because of this power, because it's Indra Jikhva, okay, it's not an ordinary power. Because of this only, in Sanskrit, when you're chanting, they'll say, be careful when you're chanting. I do my best, I practice a lot, and I'm doing my best to chant these verses because I've not had time to really learn them and practice them. Nevertheless, the importance given there is because what you say becomes true. What you say, what you manifest, the sound patterns have a way to manifest itself in the cosmos and plant seeds. And that is why I believe that when we chant Ram, when we think of Ram in consciousness, that Ram energy will and does, it does happen. We may not realize it, doesn't mean it doesn't happen. At a very deep, subtle level, it goes out into the universe and settles into the consciousness of everyone who's craving for solace of some kind, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual. Okay. Hasti Mukha. Mukha is face. Hasti is elephant. Elephant face. Now that seems very nice, right? An elephant, of course, is one of my favorite animals. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, just so small clips on elephants in Thailand and how they're racing, and there's little baby elephants playing with their owners and so on. A lot of sanctuaries there who produce these videos. Anyway, so the point here is elephant face sounds nice. Then how is that energy what is that energy and why is it serving, or how does it work the other way when it begins to serve a demon like Ravana. Elephant face is, you know, there is a saying in English, don't stick your face into everything. You don't have to, like poking your nose into everything or sticking your face into everything. So you have a tendency to go into everything. What is somebody doing there? What is this happening? What is that happening? Let's see what else is going on. You want to know everything. You want to be there, everything. You want to be present there. That is one side. The other side is you want to be recognized in a crowd. You want people to see you, your face, when you enter a room. In other words, that becomes an elephant face. So when that doesn't happen, we feel very disappointed because we want to be in any picture, in every picture. So it's important. You might say, okay, thank God I don't have that. When I say picture, I'm reminded of one thing. When somebody gives you a photograph of you with friends, where does your eye first go to? Do you see all your friends and then come to you? Or you see first yourself and decide if the picture is good or not? It just upon how I think I look, I'll decide whether I like the whole picture. I mean, others might think they look great, but I'll say I didn't like it. Why? There are 5 out of 6 people are looking great. The 6th is me, and therefore I don't like it. Elephant face. The elephant face has to look good because I think my face is bigger than others. The eye is bigger than the others. So there is that elephant face, if you get what I'm saying. So elephant face can become an important thing, an energy that can pull you out of low self-esteem and saying, no, I don't want to be in the picture, I'll be in the back, I don't want, and you want to shy away because somehow you feel you're not photogenic, you're not one of those people who look good on the picture. That is the other side of Hastamukhi. Then you need that energy to pull you out. Be bold, be smile, and so on. So the other side is, oh, me, right? That's the other side, Hastamukhi. Hasti Mukha, sorry. And then comes Karala. Karala is formidable. It's sword-like, it's very dangerous, like a knife. You got to be very careful. The knife can hurt you, or you can use it for positive things. So it's a formidable tool, a formidable energy that is with us. Then comes Pisacha. Pisacha is an energy. It is a creator of mischief. It creates troubles. It creates impediments in what you want to do. Now let us say you have an idea and you're discussing with 3 or 4 people. There could be 1 or 2 who will always say, yeah, that is nice, but then you know Pisacha is staring at you. You're staring at a Pisacha energy in that person because that person only knows how to say no. Yeah, good idea, but wait, but, if and buts. If when you hear in your own mind, if and but, these 2 words, know that that's a Pisacha talking to you. You got to respect that to some extent, very little extent. But to do something, you need to focus on how the job should be done, not what are the obstacles that can come in the way. Right? So one has to understand that. Pisacha is creator of troubles. He creates nuisance. He always projects the obstacles. Sometimes it's common sense. That is not Pisacha. Pisacha is simply somebody who, because you don't want to do, you look for excuses to say why you can't do. And therefore, it becomes Pisacha. You have to ask yourself. That's why conscience becomes a judge. Is it Pisacha talking, or is it just common sense talking? Shonitaksha. Shonitaksha is bloodshot eyes, red eyes. So this to me directly means anger. When you become angry, then your eyes are bloodshot. When you're intoxicated with anger, raging anger, rage, your eyes become bloodshot. I haven't experienced that kind of rage, and therefore my eyes have not turned that bloodshot, but I have seen it in movies, so I guess that is where this idea is coming from. Shonitaksha is bloodshot eyes, and to me that is anger. Anger, it's good to have anger to some extent. You might say, wait a minute, what is that? Once Swami was so angry with me, he was talking about me to other boys, and he said, this fellow is, in bhakti, he is like Ambarisha, but in anger, he is like Durvasa. So, and some reference he did that. So, Durvasa is an example of anger. But Durvasa's anger and his words that came out of anger, but he was a self-realized man, right? So we will explore those things. Don't expect me to go into detail there. But that kind of anger was constructive anger. So whatever he spoke eventually turned out to be for the good of the person who was receiving those words. Okay? So that kind of anger is constructive, but you got to handle that very carefully, right? But for the most part, when you and I understand anger is when we get angry because of frustration. We want something to happen, it's not happening, and therefore we get frustrated. And that frustration suddenly brings out anger. Now that sudden impulse and sudden calming down is not Sonitaksha necessarily. Sonitaksha is that raging anger that just builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up, and then it destroys you. And you also destroy people around you because of that kind of rage. So rage is perhaps a better word than anger. And that is a serious problem. All right. So much. And there must have been one or two that I would have missed. But we will see and learn. But you get the general idea now. How all of these are character traits. The words were very consciously and mindfully chosen to name these demons as living in Lanka. Valmiki could have easily told us in a couple of paragraphs, these are bad people, evil, came to destroy the world, and left it at that. And you and I would have bought it and not even questioned. But because there were layers, and there are layers hidden inside this, complete blueprint of what's going on in the Chitta. These are common for all of us. In what makes it individual and unique is what is the extent of these, which Rakshasa is more active, which demon is controlled by you, which demons have not yet been controlled by you, which ones follow Ravana, which ones follow Vibhishana, which ones follow Rama. We have a mess inside us. In the story in Lanka, everybody followed Ravana and that was clean and simple in one sense. But in us, it's a mix, right? So Lanka is, we have to understand, constantly be alert. Now when Hanuman is going in, he's gone in stealthily. He is gone in being very small, he simply observes. He's gone in when the moonlight is revealing to him these demons. Let us keep that in mind and undertake our own journey. So now it comes to a point where we are entering Ravana's palace, and the next 2 chapters are dedicated to Ravana's palace. They're long chapters, so I'm going to only summarize them in the classes tomorrow and the day after, in the satsangs, broadly speaking. And then chant those long 54 verses, 70 verses and all of that. Because they are very detailed, and we need to really sit down and analyze that. We'll keep that for some other occasion. But here, now Hanuman is approaching what I call the belly of the beast. He's entering into Ravana's palace. Right? For most of us in our spiritual path, when we come to this point, we either give up out of fear or confusion, and then we step back and say, you know what, this is all too much for me, I will just meditate. I keep getting bad dreams, I'm doing all this, something bad happens to me, something this, that, and you immediately go back to saying, I did something wrong, let me wait for the right kind of initiation, and something, one of these demons come and convince you, and you go back. And you don't enter Ravana's palace. But in order to overcome Ravana's palace, we need to enter that. And let us hold Hanuman's hand and enter into this palace. So right now we are not going into detail, but towards the end of this chapter, Valmiki begins to describe lavishly, is very generous in his descriptions of how Hanuman approaches Ravana's mansion and what does he see. Again, same old colorful chariots, colorful horses, well-trained elephants, each one as powerful as God Indra's elephants themselves. In other words, all of these that we talked about a couple of classes ago. Elephants, mansions, horses, then he talks of heinous demons guarding with tridents and spears and javelins and iron cudgels. This is the thing. This is why we are afraid to go into our unconscious, subconscious. For most part, we think we are ready, but when it begins to happen, we jump out. In Shavasana, which is a practical way to do it, Yoga Nidra. Shavasana is just an asana, you're lying down like a shava, corpse. But then you learn to practice Yoga Nidra. And in the first 15-20 minutes, you barely begin to scratch the surface of your conscious mind, because that is when you're actually fighting with Lankini and putting her down. And then you have to enter. So a proper Yoga Nidra will take 1.5 hours, 2 hours at least of practice every day. And then only a few months later, you'll actually practice and get a glimpse. But even in those times, what happens is there will be moments where you will jump out of that. Out of sheer shock and disbelief, you will jump out, because something inside will be so fearful that it'll jump, and then you'll be wide awake and say, wow, what was that? I just felt I was going to die. What was that? That kind of thing will happen. And that is very, very important for us to learn to control. But that needs so much sadhana. So you see how spiritual path is nothing is painted in by Valmiki saying this is very easy, just do it. Nothing will happen. Just keep doing. Everything will be taken care of for you. He is not painting such a picture. He's painting a much more detailed, analytical picture. So here it is given to us in a platter. We don't have to go in and discover. It is given to us saying what is inside us. So you can go in with that expectation, and perhaps you may not have that kind of fear then. So that is why these tridents and spears and javelins give us an immediate repulsion and we jump back. How does Valmiki compare the palace? He compares the palace to Kailasa. Kailasa is Shiva's abode. That is right on top in Sahasrara. And Lanka is way down in Mooladhara. If you want to take a symbolic understanding, Shiva is the heights of spiritual attainment. Ravana in Lanka is the worst of man's expressions. So from there to there, how is Lanka compared? Here is the beauty. The importance is not, you don't lay importance on why Kailasa, why not, or the sun. He says as glory, as beautiful and glory as the sun, glorious as the sun. It's not the sun or Kailasa that we should pay attention to here. Pay attention to the metaphor part of it. He said it is like Kailasa. He didn't say it is Kailasa. He says it is like the sun. It is not the sun. Meaning what? There is a complete false image that we create in Lanka, thinking that is it. This is what is happening to you and me, right? Why are we saying, I tried my best to do sadhana, I did my best to do meditation, but after some time, I don't know, I just get pulled back into normal life. Because this Lanka, the Lanka of the senses, the sensual information that comes through us, through the eyes, through the nose, through the ears, gives us an impression of there is nothing that can be more joyous than the experience of the senses. There is nothing more beautiful than sleep. There is nothing more beautiful than music. There is nothing more lovely than colorful colors and sunsets and sunrise and mountains and landscapes. Oh, this is so beautiful. How can something be more beautiful than this? And so our sense experience, we feel we've attained spiritual experience. Like when I was traveling in the Himalayas, everything was so beautiful, so wonderful. But then a part of me kept telling, this is illusion. This is just a reflection of the original beauty. This is only a reflection of Kailasa, not Kailasa. The senses, what the senses give you, what you're able to delight through the senses, is only a little bit of the Brahmananda. Brahmananda is that Ananda which has no limits. This is only a small portion of that Brahmananda. So Valmiki is telling us, yes, it is very beautiful, like Kailasa, but it is not Kailasa. That is what we need to take home. It is very beautiful and very glorious, like the sun. It's not the sun. Somebody gives you a child and says, he is exactly like your child, please keep him with you. You would say, I need my child, not somebody who looks like my child. Or it's the same thing with spouse, same thing with whatever, right? Your parents. Somebody looks like, maybe fantastic to look like. It's entertaining for a little bit, but you want your person back, your spouse back, your friend back, your child back. You can't live or accept somebody who just looks like you. It is the same thing. Same thing with your home. Your home may look like some other home, but that is not your home. It looks like that. That's all. And so that's what we need to understand. Valmiki is very beautifully telling. And therefore, when you understand and appreciate the reflection which is so beautiful, your mind should say, if the reflection of this is so beautiful, then how much more beautiful will the abode of Shiva be? How much more beautiful will Lanka be? This is exactly what Baba told me once when I was so attached to his form, and from just curiosity, I became like a fanatic. Just he has to talk to me, he has to look at me, he has to do this, I have to touch his feet every day. Then he said, if you think this is beautiful and if you think the Guru is so good, imagine this soul. This is only a reflection. I am a reflection. I am a resound. I am a reaction of the God you are searching for. And that is in you. And if this is so good, then how much more beautiful will be the source inside of you? I had no answer for that. And that changed my whole thought. That if the God that we are praising is so beautiful, then that beauty drives us in to realize the source that is giving beauty to the form and the energy to that form. And therefore, Valmiki is giving us an idea of how rich Lanka is, but that is only a reflection of the truth. And as Hanuman enters the palace, three things that caught my attention when Valmiki describes. Say, gems are scattered all over the floor. Of course, there are also walls studded with gems, all that he says. But gems are scattered all over the floor. To me, it was like, gems are precious. So precious things in life, precious things, or in other words, wisdom, is scattered all over the floor as if they were valueless. There's no sense. That is in Ravana's palace. Now you're entering the belly of the beast. Okay, so tighten your seatbelts and be prepared. So gems are scattered all over the floor. Liquor is all over the floor. Liquor stands for, of course, you can always take it as alcohol. Alcohol is bad for health. Alcohol is bad for sadhana and all of that. That's superficial. Liquor is a symbol for intoxication. Liquor is a symbol for addiction. So we are all addicted to something or the other. In food, of course, there's a big list. You make your own list and see, what am I addicted to? What will I miss if I don't get that particular day? Put sugar on top, right? Ask yourself. So that is all, that is our Lanka, that is our Ravana. So there is intoxication, there is addiction that is scattered on the floor. How can I control this addiction? How can I control this level of intoxication, not have it all over the floor with absolutely no control? That's what we need to understand as we enter this Lanka. So Valmiki prepares us at the end of this chapter. And then he says, neatly laid out living quarters. Inside these palaces are huge. So in these palaces, each queen will have her own living quarters. So they'll have their own kitchen, own bedroom, So the king will go and stay with them for some days. Then he'll go and spend some time with somebody else, I guess. So it's not just rooms in a palace, but living quarters. And they were neatly laid out. So it is a very structured thought process inside. Very structured and limited to that extent. Whenever there is structure, there is limit to the extent that one can enjoy. So that's why Valmiki says neatly laid out. There is beauty, nevertheless, but there is a limit in that structure. So neatly laid out rooms, all of them are filled with women. And there we enter into this Ravana who is surrounded by women all around him. So what that means, what that could mean, allow me to meditate and pray that Hanuman guides and reveals. And I will share that with you tomorrow. For now, let us reverentially hold this beautiful energy of Hanuman. The story is so profound where Rama chose Hanuman to go first. And it's very, very, very symbolic that Hanuman goes first, discovers these for you and me. And then he discovers Mother Sita. So that this part of the story, as we are entering in from Ravana, and when we come to chapter 15, will be the most beautiful part where he beholds Sita. So that part, the next 3 or 4 chapters, or even we have a lot more to go, 7 to 15, we have a lot more to go. But in these chapters, you will see the patience of Hanuman, the focus of Hanuman and what he has come for, never getting distracted, the character of Hanuman, Because all these have to be part of our sadhana, of our spiritual path. We need that discipline, sense of determination, clarity of our vision, the ability to keep on going. You will see the agony, the disappointments Hanuman faced, the confusion he has in his own minds. So all of these are representatives of what we go through when we go into this internal search, and how much more patience we need, how much more clarity we need. And for all of this, let us invoke this divine energy and allow him to guide us. We shall now invoke the divine Hanuman from Bhuloka, from the physical dimensions, from Bhuvar Loka, from the heavenly dimensions, from Suvar Loka, from the highest dimension. From all three dimensions, we invoke his energy into our consciousness. Om Bhuh Purusham Shri Bajranga Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Bhuvah Purusham Shri Maruti Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Suvah Purusham Shri Chiranjeevi Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Om Bhurbhuvah Suvah Purusham Shri Ramaduta Hanuman Rupaya Shri Samba Sadashivam Avahayami. Yuddhonmattasya mattasya dvajagrivasya nadinaha vidyujjihvendra jighvanam tatha hasti mukhasya cha karalasya pishachasya shonitakshasya chaivahi bhavanam kramamanano sau hanuman marutatmajaha. Teshu teshu maharheshu bhavaneshu mahayashaha tesham mriddhim matam mriddhim dadarsha samahakapihi sarvesham samatikramya bhavanani samantataha asasadhata lakshmivan rakshasendra niveshanam. Ravanasyopaşayinyo dadarshahasi sattamaha vicharan harishardulo rakshasir vikrute kshanaha shulamudgarahastascha shaktitomaradharinihi dadarsha vividhan gulman tasya rakshapater gruhe. Rakshasanscha mahakayan nana praharanodhyatan raktan shvetan sitanschaiva harimschapi mahajavan kulinan rupasampannan gajan paragajarujan निष्ठितान् गजशिक्षयां ऐरावतसमान्युधि निहन्त्रून् परसैन्यानां गृहे तस्मिन् ददर्श सः क्षरतश्च यथा मेघान् स्रवतश्च यथा गिरीन् मेघसन्तति निर्घोषान् दुर्धर्षान् समरे परैः सहस्रं वाहिनिस्तत्र जाम्बूनदपरिष्कृताः हेमजालपरिच्छन्नास्तरुणादित्यसन्निभाः तदर्श राक्षसेन्द्रस्य रावणस्य निवेशने शिबिका विविधाकाराः सकपिर्मारुतात्मजः लतागृहाणि चित्राणि चित्रशालागृहाणि च क्रीडागृहाणि चान्यानि दारुपर्वतकानपि कामस्य गृहकं रम्यं दिवागृहकमेव च तदर्शं राक्षसेन्द्रस्य रावणस्य निवेशने समन्दरगिरिप्रख्यं मयूरस्थानसङ्कुलम् ध्वजयष्टिभिराकीर्णं तदर्श भवनोत्तमम् अनेकरत्नसङ्कीर्णं निधिजालं समन्ततः धीरनिष्ठितकर्मान्तं गृहं भूतपतेरिव अर्चिर्भिश्चापि रत्नानां तेजसा रावणस्य च विरराजात तद्वेश्म रश्मिमान्निव रश्मिभिः जाम्बूनदमयान्येन शयनान्यासनानि च भाजनानि च मुख्यानि तदर्श हरियूथपः मध्वासवकृतक्लेदं मणिभाजनसङ्कुलम् मनोरममसम्भान्धं कुबेरभवनं यथा नूपुराणां च घोषेण काञ्चीनां निनदेन च मृदङ्गतलघोषैश्च घोषवद्भिर्विनादितं प्रासादसङ्गातयुतं स्त्रीरत्नशतसङ्कुलम् सुव्यूढकक्ष्यं हनुमान् प्रविवेश महागृहाम् इत्यार्षे वाल्मीकीय श्रीमद् रामायणे आदिकाव्ये सुन्दरकाण्डे षष्ठः सर्गः। मनोजवं मारुत्यतुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज
मन मुकुर सुधारी, बरनो रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहे, हरहु कलेश विकार। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपद दीन्हा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, लियो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के देते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे देते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महाडेरा। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। राम 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 राम, श्री राम 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 राम। जय श्री राम।
समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। May all the beings in all the worlds be happy.
जय बोलो पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सतगुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। ओम शांति शांति शांति।